Hi, I'm Tom from Lawn Science. We're here on a lawn which has got an infestation of chafer grubs. Chafer grubs are the soil-dwelling larvae of the chafer beetle, and they're most common in lawns from autumn through to springtime. If not caught quickly, the devastation that they can cause is pretty intense, resulting in time-consuming and often expensive repair work. There's a number of initial signs which might suggest that your lawn's got an infestation of chafer grubs. One of the things might be you might see a sudden interest from birds, from squirrels, even badgers, wildlife basically just taking an interest in that area. Quite quickly, the grass will turn from being a nice green colour to being very dry in appearance, like a straw-coloured grass. When you notice this, what you want to do is just go to that area, give it a slight tug. If you've got an infestation, it'll be apparent quite quickly. Just by pulling up that grass, it won't be rooted, so it's just like almost wafting like a blanket. There's no resistance at all. This is what the chafer grub looks like. It's a bit like a maggot in the shape of a C. It's got a brown head, and either side of the head there's 3 legs, 6 legs in total. And when the chafer beetle lays the larvae, it will sweep across the entire lawn, just eating the roots. These chafer grubs are quite large. Anything over 1/8 of an inch, the grub's too big for any pesticide to take effect. I've pulled back some of the grass just to see how extensive the damage is, and it's quite severe. As I mentioned earlier, when you lift the grass, there'll be no resistance at all. You can see, just like that, it's just like wafting a blanket. You can also see along the edges, this straw colour, that grass is dead, there's no roots. The chafer grubs basically started and they're working their way across. Okay, so I'm going to pull the grass back. I'm going to pull it back as far as I can. As you can see, there's just so much coming up. Okay, so what we've done is we've pulled back and removed all the damaged grass, and as you can see, the extent of the damage is quite severe. What we've done, we've pulled it back as far as we possibly can until it feels rooted again. We've then gone back a little bit further and cut it off. Hopefully the chafer grubs haven't exceeded this area. There's a lot on the surface, and one of 2 things will happen. Either the birds will come down and have a real good feast, or they'll get that cold that they'll go lower down into the soil. We'll then be able to deal with them later on in the year.
Hello, I'm Steve Haywood and I live in Buckingham. This time last year, my lawn began to deteriorate. I couldn't think why, but it was turning a ghastly brown. As time went on and autumn was approaching, it got worse, and I realised I had a big problem. I started to lift up the turf and the whole lawn came away, and underneath there were hundreds of thousands of chafer grubs. Now I look at the job which is now complete, after many months, I realise that the way forward is not to penny pinch, but to have this treated on an annual basis. No matter what the cost, it is far easier to have this treated instead of penny pinching because at least I know that I'm safe in the hands of lawn science.